Good afternoon. Thanks everybody for coming today. On July 9, 2018, at approximately 3:45 a.m., Hamilton Fire and Hamilton Police Service were dispatched to a house fire at 8 Green Court in Dundas. The victims, Carla and Alan Rutherford, both in their 60s, were in the residence at the time. Alan was ultimately able to escape the home and knock on a neighbor's door for help. Carla was unable to escape. Carla was rescued from the home by Hamilton Fire and pronounced dead on the way to the hospital. Alan was transported to hospital in critical condition. Sadly, Alan died as a result of his injuries later in the afternoon. The Ontario Fire Marshal Office responded to investigate the scene in cooperation with the Hamilton Police Service Forensic Services Branch and a major crime unit. No immediate cause of the fire was identified and the fire was deemed suspicious. The major crime unit subsequently took the lead in this investigation until the cause of the fire could be identified. Today, after 4 days of investigation at the fire scene and with the assistance of the Ontario Fire Marshal's Office, the major crime unit is satisfied based on evidence that the fire was deliberately set. Carla and Alan Rutherford were victims of homicide. This was an extremely intense fire which began in the bedroom. These were innocent sleeping victims who would have experienced sheer terror. They suffered horrific injuries that led to their deaths. Since this is now a homicide investigation, I am unable to comment on the evidence moving forward. We are asking for people who know the victims well or may have information that may assist us with this investigation to please contact Detective Ben Adams, who's standing to my left. His phone number is 905-546-3836. And to provide information anonymously, we're asking that you please call Crime Stoppers 1-800-222-8477 or submit your anonymous tips online. At this point, I'd like to take any questions.
What makes you say that it was a homicide? What was it that you found in the house?
Our decision right now is based on evidence that we've collected at this point, and I can't speak on evidence.
Was this a targeted attack?
Yes.
Are there any suspects at this point in terms of this investigation?
The natural route for this investigation is to initially look at the people closest to the victims. That's where we have begun. You have to keep in mind this investigation is still very early, and we are working towards speaking to close members of the family. And at this point, I can say that the family has been cooperative with this.
You mentioned that they would have been in their bed and they would have been terrified. Can you elaborate on what you know about that moment?
That would speak to evidence.
Can you say if there were working smoke alarms in the house at the time that this fire was set?
Again, that would speak to evidence.
This was a really big fire. People were saying that you could see flames above the treetop. Was there some sort of accelerant used? I mean, Alan had burns all over his body when he was able to make it out.
Yeah, the flame was very high, according to witness information that we have. That is true. Again, with respect to what caused that fire and how it began, that's evidence in this matter at this point.
Are any of your suspects family members?
Again, we're working with the family, and they have been cooperative.
Did you obtain any surveillance video? I know officers were canvassing the neighborhood.
That would speak to evidence at this point.
So you're not willing to release any information?
Not at this time. Again, it's very early. The point of this meeting was to update the status change in this investigation. That at this point in time, we are moving ahead with a homicide investigation, and we're going to continue down that direction.
Should neighbors and people in that area be worried?
No.
Do you believe this was an isolated incident?
Yes, we believe that this home was targeted.
Any signs of forced entry?
That would speak to evidence.
Are you working with any other agencies?
Yep, we are working alongside the Ontario Fire Marshal's Office, and we continue to do so.
Can you speak to kind of the challenges in approaching this house? I know the roof was collapsed, the floor was collapsed, and trying to gather evidence.
Yeah, this is a massive scene. The house is very badly damaged and had to be supported so that the fire marshal could do their job in their investigation, as well as our forensic officers. So there was work that had to be done. That's why it was lengthy. It was approximately 4 days that we held the scene, and it was just recently released yesterday afternoon.
Any estimate on that damage?
Not yet. The insurance company is working trying to obtain a number for us, but they don't have one.
Do you know where the fire started? It looks like most of the damage is in the back of the house.
At this point, we did the bedroom.
Can you tell us what units within your police service are working on this?
Right now, the major crime unit in cooperation with our forensic services branch.
Can you give us an idea of how many witnesses you've talked to in relation to this case?
I don't have an exact number, but at this point, numerous, definitely numerous. But we continue to petition for more people, specifically people that knew the family well. If they, at this point, if they could reach out to us, if they haven't already, we'd be grateful for that.
What can you tell us?
Was it something that you found in the house, or was it something that you were told from a witness that led you to change your?
That would speak to evidence.
What can you tell us about Alan and Carol Rutherford? I mean, there's a photo of them right there. What can you tell us about them?
They're tremendous people. Right now, they were Carla, love quilting. They were both avid members of the yacht club here in Hamilton. Sailboating was a passion of theirs, clearly. Alan loved model planes. They were married together for approximately 11 years, but together longer, in the neighborhood of 20 years. I think that's what adds to the tragedy of this event. These were really good people.
Do you know what they did for a living?
They were retired.
Do you know from what?
Yeah, they actually had met each other and worked together at Hamilton Health Sciences.
When do you expect to have more information?
I don't know. I can't answer that at this point in time. This is going to likely be a very lengthy investigation. This is a massive scene. It's a very complex investigation. So I can't accurately give you a number on that.
We'll take 2 more questions.
I think a lot of people were shocked and weren't expecting this when we hear the neighbors and people who knew the couple speak about it. From your perspective, was there anything shocking? Did you know right away that this was going to be a homicide case? I mean, there was a lot of police on scene that first day.
There was, and again, as I had mentioned previously in the week, it was serious right out of the gate. There's no question. When somebody perishes in a fire, it required a great deal of investigation to find out what had possibly transpired in there. So yeah, it's difficult.